This is where the fun begins.
Get ready for raw, unfiltered Razorback talk. Nobody knows what they'll say next. It's time to go inside the Hawg pen with Razorback Zach, Marcus MC Carlton, and Sarah Swish Vogel.
Let me talk to you.
No! It's Wednesday night, and you know what that means. It's an all-new episode of Inside the Hawg Pen. I am your host, as always, Razorback Zach from the Central Arkansas Hawg Pen. And from both corners of the natural state, from the NEA, we got Marcus MC Carlton, the glue that holds the whole damn thing together. And at the bottom of your screen, Sarah Swish Vogel from the NWA. What's up, y'all?
Hey.
Living the life.
Of a teenager, a college student, all of the above.
I was a stressed out kid.
I heard that. We got a big show tonight because I know what everybody wants to talk about. And hey, MC, that needs to be our new sound cue. Yes. Random thought. Sorry about that. But I got a big show. I know what everybody wants to talk about, and it's Devo coming back somehow to the Razorback basketball team. We've got that to talk about. And, of course, coming up later in the show, Sarah takes us inside Razorback baseball, or should I say inside the Hawg Pen. So looking forward to that. And, of course, your questions, your comments, and whatever other squirrels and tangents we can get ourselves into. But here we go. Make sure that you guys leave us a review, 5 stars, 6 stars, 1 star. Doesn't matter. Just say something positive, please. Just something positive.
Or don't.
I don't care.
Bring me the smoke. I don't care.
Or don't. Because after tonight, you might be pissed at all of us. We don't know. Make sure you subscribe and follow our podcast anywhere major podcasts are found. We've got exclusive content you can't find anywhere else. All right. Now that the business is done, I got to get into this because news broke. I guess it was it yesterday or day before? Dartmouth is unionizing? What?
I love how you say Dart. Like most people say Dartmouth. And you'd be like,
Dart
Dartmouth.
I mean, it just look, and I know what's fixing to say after this, but it just came out. Not a word. Not a word. Not a word.
I'm just gonna take a drink.
Shut up, MC.
Yeah, speaking of which, Dylan's over here slandering Sonic.
What? Okay, so what is the deal? I mean, and again, I know this is Razorback. This is a Razorback show, and we're going to get into all of that. But this is going to have major waves across collegiate athletics and especially college basketball. Not too in the not too distant future.
Like this week.
Yeah. So to kind of, there's not really a quick way to explain this, but I'll try to explain it as quickly as I can. With the whole NIL thing, it kind of opened up the door to college athletes pursuing opportunity for more. So there was a court case involving Dartmouth athletes were trying to unionize in order to get themselves basically the same, for lack of a better term, to get classified pretty much the same way as employees of the university. The court case ruled in their favor, saying that they can be considered as employees and they can unionize, meaning that this is where this is going to go. College athletes are going to get together. They're going to unionize. They're going to start saying, and at schools like Dartmouth, it's not as big of a deal. But let's take this in the perspective of SEC football or Big Ten football or basketball even. You think about all the money that comes in the Big Ten, the SEC, from the revenue deals, the TV revenue deals, millions upon millions upon millions. So these unions are going to get together and say, hey, we want our cut of that because we're providing the product to your school that allows you to make these massive TV deals for millions upon millions of dollars. So we need our cut. So you're going to give athletes 30% of all incoming revenue. And I just pulled that number off the top of my head. But 30% of, a $250 million TV deal. I don't have the quick math on that, but I believe that's about 75 million, I think.
Yeah.
Close, something
So
like that.
you're talking a huge hit to the incoming revenues of these athletic departments. And if you look, a lot of these athletic departments, if they get it, they're like a kid when you give a kid money. If they have it, they're going to spend it. Okay. It's not sitting up there and it's not sitting in an account drawing interest. They're going to spend it. So no school is going to want to take roughly a 30% hit off of their incoming revenue. And in some cases, some of them are just now getting to the point where they recovered from the revenue loss due to COVID. So this could basically flip college sports on its head as far as TV deals and how things go in the future.
Why don't they just rename the NCAA like the NBA developmental and the NFL developmental?
Well, it's funny that you mentioned the NCAA, because also either at the end of last week or the beginning of this week, the SEC and the Big Ten made a joint statement where they said that they had been having talks, basically talking about, we're going to break away from the NCAA and make our own autonomous, self-governing body, which would include the Power 4, Power 5 conferences, whatever you want to call it, because the Pac-12 is DOA. So you're talking about the Big Ten, the SEC. That's the king and the queen that run everything, okay?
Yeah.
And then the ACC, what's left of that, the Big 12, and then, you could, flip a coin and find the other conference to come in. But, I've been hearing that this talking about of the big conferences, the haves, rather than the have-nots of G5. Right. The haves are going to break away, form their own governing body, and it's basically going to be semi-pro ball is what it's going to be.
But even with the conference expansion and all of that when it started, we knew I say this from a regional point, we knew the SEC was eventually going to break away.
Yeah. Yeah, and the Big Ten,
stay the same. Why do we have to keep changing it?
It's just the way of the world, Sarah. Trust me. As you get, I can actually say this, and it's going to hurt to say it. As you get older and you get our age, oh my God, that hurt. You'll understand. Trust me.
No, I won't. Just shut up and play ball.
Well, and that's honestly the way I look at it. But college sports, it ceased being about the game. And it became a business back around the time that you had the big first conference realignments. I'm not talking about like when Arkansas joined the SEC, like that next round where when the Big Ten went from 10 teams to like 14, and the Big 8 and the SWC merged and became the Big 12 or whatever it went to there. About that time was when the big TV deals started getting in, and the TV deals just get more massive and more massive. Now, to pile on top of this, did y'all see the joint announcement from ESPN, Fox,
new streaming service,
and Warner Brothers yesterday? So,
yeah.
Sports is going to be moving to all streaming. Okay,
wow.
We've seen this coming. I saw this coming a few years ago because I worked in the cable industry for about 15 years, and the big saying, internally, we would never say this publicly, but internally we would say, look, as long as live sports stays on cable, cable's going to be good. Okay, this is live sports moving away from cable, and everything is going, they're building this network that's going to be basically all the ESPNs, Hulu, and then like TNT, TBS, that group. Okay, it's all streaming, but it's going to encompass pretty much all sports, all college sports, as well as pro. So when sports moves away from traditional TV, cable and satellite, forget it. Cable and satellite are done.
I can't even watch half the games anymore because I can't get the channel because my
parents
pay for it.
Okay, we're gonna jump into everybody's comment in the Hog Wild live fan feedback, but there's one comment I got to point out here because it has to do with what MC just said. Frank Brewer said, sports streaming service is actually a great idea. Finally, no need for a subscription that includes Oxygen and Hallmark.
I mean, that's fair.
You're keeping the Hallmark channels.
I agree. I agree 100% with Frank on that one. No doubt about it. Let's run through some of these real quick. Jesse Randall Thurman, one of our good friends, says, I hope not, in response to Dylan asking, are we playing TCU in baseball this year?
No, thank God.
Unless we meet in a regional.
No more sign stealing.
Right. And then, of course, we've got our two royalties in the house, Mama Linda and KC. What's up, y'all? And then Kevin Edwards says, good evening, friends. Hope you are all well. What's up, Kev?
Doing good, Kev. Doing good.
So Jesse wants to know real quick, are they doing any more baseball scrimmages?
I kind of find out on a day-to-day basis, to be honest. There's a good Facebook page ran by my friend called Hawg Baseball. You can follow him and he'll post every day and tell you if there's one, because I honestly find out that way or when I see them out there already scrimmaging.
Of course, my other half is in the house. She is actually hanging out with her sister tonight, so I get to run wild in the pen. And Frank Brewer, I swear, this dude is on one tonight. Sports streaming. Oh, wait. This one. That's my bad.
There you go.
Hallmark. Why? I can watch one movie with the same actors in one plot instead of 1,500 combos of the same thing. Just think about it this way, Frank. Think about it this way. They're just sequels.
So you're gonna have pretty much every
think of love somehow. I can only find it at Hallmark.
Hallmark movies are gonna have the guy that used to play Superman, Dean Cain, and it's gonna have DJ Tanner from Full House, Candace Cameron Bure.
Yeah,
they're gonna be the two that eventually fall in love with each other. And there's this other woman that used to be on Desperate Housewives that's gonna try to steal the dude away. So
no, you forgot the part where they meet in a coffee shop.
Look at Sarah's reaction. I'm over the target. That's why she's having the reaction.
I've seen just about every Hallmark movie. So
oh God.
This is why I'm single.
Anyway,
you just haven't gone to the correct coffee shop yet during Christmas time, or
going back to my hometown 20 years after I graduated college.
You're
exactly.
this big
I'm gonna wait till 20 years after I graduate college, which I might be like 50 by then, but then I'll find love.
Last comment before we get into the next topic. Loki says, yeah, that Peacock exclusive playoff game was the start of the systemic change.
Well, yeah, okay, so there were a lot of people pissed off about that. There were a lot of people mad about that.
Think about it. You got to pay what, $5.99, $9.99 to watch a football game? One?
In the playoffs.
In the playoffs, no less.
Yeah.
So,
but if they're all on one streaming service, you only get to pay $39.99 a month to get them all.
Yeah,
well, and that's the thing. So
all the sports that'll be on that streaming service.
Yeah. I mean, I'm about to have to renew my ESPN Plus as of next week when baseball starts, so I can watch baseball.
You got to get your Flow Sports reactivated too.
Oh hell no!
I'll find a bootleg on that.
I would rather, you know what?
Softball plays on Flow Sports.
I would not. No, you know what? I would rather do no. Anyway, anyhow, I digress. This is what I wanted to talk about. Devo Davis has somehow, and I will say this just like it reads, somehow found his way back to the basketball team. And I'm going to be the one to say it. I think it's a bad idea. I don't agree with it. I don't like it.
What if it brings Trevin Brazil back?
We're not getting into that. We're not going there. But here's the problem, okay?
Is that right? Is that
we're staying.
I didn't realize it. I didn't realize that he was a tri-delt when he did that the other night. So
it's an A. It's an A.
Okay.
Stay far away from that. But here's why I think it's a bad idea, and I'm probably about to get an earful from Mama Linda. But number one, you saw the beginnings. Now, granted, it was against a very terrible Missouri team, but you started to see some of the chemistry that we've been wanting out of this team. I think it was a great lineup. Yeah, we got smoked by LSU.
A terrible LSU team.
A terrible LSU team, yes. But what's that going to do for the what's it going to do Saturday if he plays, which I still don't think he should play. and we crap the bed. I'll
He
say
might
this.
not play. Just because he's back with the team doesn't mean he plays.
Oh,
So
he's-
is
They
it-
never said what his role on the team would be. They never
So
said
it-
he's back playing. They never said anything like that.
I don't think he will start, although it wouldn't surprise me if he started Saturday, but he will play. He will be in the game before the second media timeout. Just my gut feeling.
I don't think it's a good idea because we didn't get anything released to the media except he stepped away. Okay. You don't have anything come out saying what happened. And I get it. Personal life is personal. I get that. But you're going to have everything circulating on the internet, on all these chat rooms. Even we're sitting here freaking talking about it. I just don't think it's a good idea. Not to mention, if I'm not mistaken, this is his third time doing this where he stepped away and come back.
I know it's at least 2.
Well, but
Okay.
MC,
Which
come
all
on.
y'all want to.
Come on.
Y'all all
We'll
want to
talk.
talk about the first time. The first time he literally just missed a game. And all of y'all wanted to assume he left the team. He dropped off the team. All Musselman said is he's not available today. He never left the team.
But the way the media released it last year was that he
That was
stepped
the
away.
media's fault. That is not Musselman's fault. That is
Well, but
not.
that's all we have to go
Wait,
on.
that's all we have to go on.
Musselman said he's unavailable. He's unavailable. They did not say family. Like some guys miss a game for family issues, for personal issues. Shoot, he could have had a test he had to take. It's a non-conference game, and he wanted to miss the game instead.
Okay.
Like,
What's Trevin Brazil's reason? We never got unless I missed it, we never got a
Missed-
reason why he got benched.
he's got a hurt knee.
Oh, boo-hoo.
It's his same one that he tore his ACL on, and they think he might re-tear it.
Well, I mean, if that is the case with him,
NSJ 2.0, but
that explains
That's what I said in the group chat.
that explains the lackluster play that he's had the last several games.
Well, it got hurt in that Kentucky game or the game right before that. The game right before the Kentucky.
Ole Miss.
That's when he re-hurt it.
Okay.
But a lot of y'all keep talking about how good people have played the last couple games. One reason Mr. Mitchell has played so well is because Devo's his best friend, and he sees how much slander that man's getting, and it fires him up. So
Hey.
he plays well. He sees how much
mean-
heat his mom's dealing with on Twitter. It makes him play well. I agree with
mean-
Jesse that the media has made the situation worse. I was just about to say that.
It should not take burning down Art Razorback Twitter for these boys to play well. It shouldn't take College Game Day being on campus for these boys to play well.
And it
shouldn't
didn't.
take,
It didn't. They didn't play well.
but it shouldn't take the glitz and the glamour and the high profile teams coming in here for them to play well. It doesn't matter if you're playing Fayetteville High School. You give 100% effort and act like you want to win a damn championship.
Wait. Welcome to college basketball.
So what I can't understand, and I've tried to, and I'll give my thoughts on Devo in a minute because I have some definite thoughts there. What I can't figure out is what happened after the Duke game, because all in all, that's the last really good game. I mean, that's the last game that they played above average. I would say they played pretty good that night. Duke is not, this is not a typical Duke team. They're still a top 15 team. They're like 18-4, 18-5, something like that. That's still a good win. But what happened after that? Because after that game,
What happened before that? We lost to UNC Greensboro before that.
I'll give them that one. I'll give them that one. Greensboro came in, played their best game of the season. Arkansas was looking ahead to Duke because that was, I think that was the very next game was the Duke game. Either that or there was one game in between. I don't remember, but it was close enough.
They went overseas the next game, I thought.
Oh, over to the Bahamas.
Maybe. I got to look at the schedule.
I don't
again.
remember. It was, I feel the Greensboro game doesn't bother me.
But
That one doesn't bother me.
Greensboro also beat Kentucky.
So yeah, that one doesn't bother me.
But
What bothers me is not showing up against Oklahoma, blowing a 22 points of a 24-point lead in Little Rock, which we all saw. And we were all sitting there biting our fingernails like, are you shitting me right now?
Greensboro was before Bahamas.
Okay. So would your former ball player, you're looking at Greensboro and then you're looking at going to the Bahamas. Where's your mind going to be? I know where mine's going to be. It ain't going to be on Greensboro.
Mine's on the rim. Making a damn shot, but
but I will give them the Greensboro loss. What I don't understand is what's happened after the Duke game. And some of these games where we have just looked like we don't even know what a basketball is.
They're not a team.
No,
Must miss this year. They
Yes.
don't know who
Wait.
is-
I'm gonna look. I got on my high horse and I was on my soapbox. I'm gonna come to Muss's defense. Okay, he got great players
That's
from
what
the
it is.
teams
Yes.
they came from. Here's
Yes.
the problem. They were just so used to carrying that team and being the man and being the star and the guy. They got here. They don't know how to play as a team.
Wow, you sound like me last week, Zach.
I had somebody ask me earlier this week, or from between our last show to tonight, they asked me, it's like, what's the deal here? Because all these guys came in highly touted and all this. I said, the best way I know to describe this is that if this were a restaurant, okay, we brought all these guys in that all think they are, Emerald. They all think they're a 5-star chef. The problem is they all want to be in the kitchen cooking, and we don't have anybody that'll go bus tables. We don't have anybody that's going to seat anybody. We don't have anybody that wants to take orders. Everybody wants to be in the kitchen cooking, and we don't have all these other vital parts that we need to make it flow like it's supposed to flow. And I think, that ties back into what you said, Sarah, last week, because we pulled the best from Louisville. We pulled the best from Temple. We pulled, where did the other dude come from? Cincinnati. Thank you. And it's just, too many chefs that want to be in the kitchen and not enough guys like Layden Blocker that are willing to go out and do the dirty work.
Yeah. It just, to me, I mean, and again, this is not slandering Devo by any stretch of the imagination. All right. And whether it was something serious or what have you, does not matter. It's just the way he goes about it and the way it came out and everything else was not a good look. And I would, again, I'll stand on this hill. Okay. Twitter is going to go crazy. That's the way of the world nowadays. Okay. When you don't have an explanation about something and the coaches are tight-lipped and a player is tight-lipped, that's what happens. Now, here's the thing. If Brazil comes back Saturday, that's just taking fire, meet fuel. And y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm not going into it.
Right.
But there you go. All
yeah,
right.
It's going to, yeah. My thing on Devo. Well, okay, first off, let me say this. I don't understand this mindset of we can only remember and we can only focus on all the good things that Devo's done for the program. No, you can't straddle the fence here. If you're going to acknowledge all the good he's done, and he's done good over his time here, you have to acknowledge the bad. You have to acknowledge the fact that statistically this is his worst year of his career in Arkansas. You have to acknowledge the fact that he's had some very, he kicked the guy in the nuts in the game and got the flagrant 2, got tossed out.
He's had 3 or 4 of those.
That was
exactly. He's had so many
some
of those
are
this year.
though.
I call them WTF moments. He's had so many WTF moments this year of stuff. It's like,
and some that don't get called that you have to be there to see, because I don't think you see them on TV. But there's been a few that I'm like, whoa.
Yeah. He had one in the Little Rock game that didn't get called that I remember talking to y'all about, and I'm just like, how did he get by with this?
Yeah,
we thought it was a foul on him, and it was on.
It ended
Mitchell.
up being on.
It was on Mitchell.
That was how it was against Texas A&M. He shoved the guy in the back, and Mitchell made it look like he did it, and he got the flagrant instead of Devo.
I'm gonna put this up here because you can't see Sarah's, but if you're watching the live stream, if you're listening to us, that's it's different. But Loki says when they played Duke, it was a high pressure and they had something to prove. I think that was also what happened with Missouri. But the way this season is going, they should play every damn game like they have something to prove, because they do. Again, I've been saying it. It doesn't matter if it's Fayetteville High School, Conway High School, or, the Pee Wee League of Barnum and Bailey's Circus. You have to put forth the championship effort if you want to win a title.
It's a lack of mental focus.
Looks like we just lost Sarah.
Yeah. It's a lack of mental focus. It's not being able to put yourself where you need to be it's not being able to put yourself where you need to be in the mindset for every game. You need to treat every opponent the same. I had coaches that always told me that, there's certain things with our opponent we want to stop, but we want to play our game. Okay. We want to force them to play to our style. And then we play our game, then we don't have to worry about what they're going to do. Now, obviously, if they had a superstar on the other team, it's a little different. You're not going to take that approach with Duke because of Kyle Filipowski and a couple of the other, the Roach kid and a couple others. But this team is just not, it has not come together. It is not, you don't have any dudes on this team. No. I mean, you don't have a Stanley Amude. You don't have an Aldis Toney. You don't have a Jalen Tate. Some of these guys. Yeah, you don't have a J Will. I mean, J Will's on this team. He's getting these dudes in order. Mm-hmm. J Will is having a players only meeting, which we've not heard anything about any of that. So that has me questioning the player leadership as it is. Because when things go off the rail, we've seen it before. They've had a players only meeting and they get stuff talked through, worked out, fisticuffs, whatever it takes. They get it worked out. They get back on track. They start winning games. We haven't heard about anything like that this year.
MC, I got a question for you on the other side of the break. We're going to step away for a minute. You're listening and watching Inside the Hog Pen on the Sideline Radio Network. Back after this. All right, welcome back to Inside the Hog Pen on the Sideline Radio Network. Razorback Zach, Marcus MC Carlton, and Sarah Swish Vogel hanging out with you tonight. Thank you to everybody watching and listening tonight. We appreciate each and every one of you. Listen, before the break, you made a comment, MC, about this basketball team, about the players' meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Who's to say a players' meeting hasn't happened, or a players' meeting has happened, but there was just too many, again, the egos got in the way, and it turned into, again, too many Chiefs, not enough Indy. Who's to say that hasn't happened yet? And
it may have. I just know in past years when that's happened, it always found its way out. Now, but it was also coming off of after a successful players meeting. So if you had one and it's a bunch of guys in there just butting heads and arguing and yapping back and forth at each other and you're not getting anywhere, I mean, and the other reason, I mean, that may not come out.
Something tells me, though, it turned into a finger-pointing meeting.
If it happened, I would say it probably did. But I also say this. If it happened with everything else that's been thrown out there, don't you think we would have heard something about, well, there was a players only meeting and, Battle called Brazil soft, or, some kind of drama. I mean, this team has been surrounded in drama the last, 2 months?
Yeah.
Twitter doesn't think that hard to come up with a rumor that strong.
Twitter doesn't think
true.
at all.
Yeah.
That's where,
you could have stopped that statement with Twitter doesn't think.
Yeah. That's where all the drama and everything is. It's all on Twitter.
Yeah.
The thing is, I know that some of the guys, they don't even like. He's a manager. He's in one of my classes. We're, me and the guy in front of me are making jokes, and he's like, "What are y'all talking about?" And I was like, "Wait, have you not?" He's like, "No, none of us. I haven't like." The guys that are there don't even know about all this stuff. It's literally only Twitter, and then whoever wants to screenshot it and post it in some Facebook group, and then those people get riled up, and then it goes to Discord for the private group to talk about. It's this constant cycle of
wait. Hold on. Back this biscuit train on gravy wheels up a minute. All right, or whatever it is. I'm out. I haven't slept much. So
okay.
Gravy train on biscuit wheels. Shut up, MC. I know you know what I'm trying to say. So what you're saying is, don't ask an 8th grader or an 8-year-old.
She's an 8th grader. She's not 8 years old.
Don't ask an 8th grader about the status of the basketball team,
or where your dad's going to next. Is that
what
okay.
you're saying?
So do we know if it was another kid or if it was like a teacher or something like that? Because if it's another kid,
he never said anything.
Kids are mean.
But
okay.
It also could have been, "Hey, I saw this on Twitter, sweetie. I need you to go ask Mariah." Like, sorry, I didn't mean to say her name, but everybody knows her name.
But everybody knows who she is.
Everybody knows who she is. But again, to those of you that are doing this kind of, Chloe, I know you're watching. If you're doing this kind of dumb shit, knock it off.
Yeah.
You're that's another thing for another time.
It's just right up there with kids bullying each other because they don't have a real Stanley or real Lululemon leggings or whatever else. Like
the real Stanleys have lead in them, so I'm glad I don't have one. Just throwing that out there.
Not all of them. If you wash them correctly, they don't. But that's
I'm Team Yeti all day.
So I'm
team like Simple Modern Brewmate.
I had another
or question. The cool new coolers from a certain company.
There you go. Yes.
So we're gonna throw this.
I don't need a cup. I just need the whole cooler.
But I'm gonna tell you this: I'm tired of talking basketball, and in 9 days, the season kicks off. That's right, it's time, y'all. Baseball season is here, and to help us out with that, Sarah Switchvogel was gonna give us the feeling. Sarah, tell me about this baseball team. Now we know Peyton Stovall got hurt. He broke his foot.
It's just a broken foot. He'll be back by LSU.
I was gonna say he's down but not out.
Death, taxes, significant injury prior to the beginning of the season.
But the thing is, we are so deep, it doesn't even matter.
So let me ask you this, Sarah. Let me ask you this. There is, because I meant to ask you in pre-show. For everybody watching, the player that's from Hawaii, say his name so we know how to say it. Because I'm going to butcher this.
I think it's Vahave.
Yes.
So we will.
So if you take his name, it's Wehiwa. Replace both W's with V's. So it's Vehiva.
Okay, I'm going to pull something up here.
Spell it again.
Oof. Let me get my notes.
Hang on. We're going to go straight to the source here because I bookmarked this tweet from Dave Van Horn at the Swatters Club.
All right.
Specifically for this purpose, okay?
That W, you might as well throw that W out the window. It's Vahava.
Vahava.
Like Vahava. Alloy.
So there we go.
Okay. There it is.
Straight from the GOAT himself, Dave Van Horn. Thank you to Mason Choate for tweeting that. I like, former media guy here, I like to give proper credit where credit's due. So Mason Choate's the one that tweeted that out. I bookmarked it specifically for this reason.
I will be at the next Swatters Club meeting too.
Okay, so walk me through this, all right? Because last year we were sold on the bullpen is deep. We've got a bunch of pitchers, but everybody got hurt. So by the end of the season, we had maybe 3 or 4. What? And I don't want to drink the Kool-Aid, just yet. I'm sipping on it.
Too late. It's too late. I started double fisting.
You know what?
Already.
You know what? I was trying to play it off like I wasn't.
I'm in.
But then I saw Ben's moonshot, and I was just like, I was sold. I was done. The fact that DVH was speechless on that told me everything I needed to know.
Was that Ben?
That was
McLaughlin?
Ben McLaughlin.
Yeah.
There was also a good one by Robinette
Yes.
that day
Big
too.
country.
So how do we? I mean, walk us through. What are we looking like 9 days out when we play James Madison next? Is it Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday? It's a 4-game set.
Yes.
It's a 4-game.
Yes. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then we're in Globe Life the next weekend.
Yep.
So how do we look? I mean, you've been at some of the scrimmages.
Some of them, yeah.
What are we looking like?
So my first big note is the catchers, because we have 4. 2 here. We're here. One's an incoming freshman and one's a transfer. I honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if you saw all 4 of them opening weekend. Let them see how they play. And then even going into season, you might see one Friday, one Saturday, one Sunday. I don't think there's one, honestly, that truly stands out to me just yet in order to make a decision if I'm DVH or whoever that position coach is. I can't remember his name. And then from there, if you go to the infield.
Okay, hang on before you jump into the infield. I have a comment I want to add on in regards to the catchers. So Helfrich, the incoming freshman, I read some comments where DVH was saying that this Helfrich kid reminded him of a young James McCann. Now, DVH doesn't throw out statements like that unless it's legit. So this kid coming in as a freshman must really be turning heads if DVH is comparing him to McCain or James McCann. Because I mean, you think about some of the catchers that have come through since James McCann. When you're talking Grant Cook, you're talking Casey Opitz, you're talking, Michael Turner. I mean, we've been really, really fortunate to have really good catchers. And we had a really good one. In my opinion, we had a decent catcher transfer out in Dylan Leach. Ended up at Missouri. He wasn't quite to the level of the other guys. That's why he transferred out. But catcher's a tough spot to recruit. And if you get if you get one good quality catcher, you're in pretty good hands. But it looks like we're going to have.
We got 4.
We've got 4.
Okay, but
Helfrich's hitting is what's impressed me. His hitting stats, which their scrimmages, like I'm not trying to get my hopes up too much because the hittings looked really good overall, but his hitting stats have been what's impressed me.
Okay, but at the same time, though, again, we've got the depth, and they look good in the scrimmages and everything else. But can that carry over into conference play? Because we know the SEC in baseball is not easy. And I'll be honest with you. I will be 100% honest with you. And MC, you're the basketball guy here. If I had to put it in order, you got football toughest, and then SEC baseball, and then basketball.
As far as like strength of schedule?
As far as strength of schedule and in
the SEC?
And
football
level
is all the way at the bottom.
No. I'm talking SEC as a whole because you've got not Arkansas.
You get in football, to me, like football isn't even up there because you get a whole week between games. Y'all complain a lot. Y'all get a whole week. Some of these baseball guys get 2 days. They play Sunday night and they're back in the midweek game Tuesday or Wednesday. Sarah's on one tonight, y'all. Because what national day is it, Sarah? I'll go ahead and let you say it. It's National Women's and Sports Day.
Which brings me to this point. Sarah, you're fired. I'm kidding.
All right. I didn't mean to like I didn't mean to like derail you off of your breakdown. We got through the catchers, but I wanted to throw that in there because I felt like that was
I have him starred because he was definitely his hitting looked really good and consistent, Mr. But my thing is what he was saying with SEC being like hard. One day, one has a bad day, pull him out, put the next one in.
Yeah.
For my job or Sarah's? Watch him say my job.
Next. We're going to the infield next.
Let's go to the infield.
We're going to the infield
next.
Hold on.
Jesse's got a question for you, Sarah. Opinions on the potential pinstripe uniforms?
They're so ugly. It's not even the
There you have it.
pinstripes. I really like a pinstripe, but I need a different font. Like someone posted one with a better font on Twitter. Here, I'll show you the
Yeah,
picture.
I
'cause
I saw the one you were talking about.
It's a million times better. The little like Razorbacks, I really don't like. I want it to say Arkansas. This is what I want them to look like.
Yeah, that I like that.
I saw that earlier.
Shout out to Bryce on Twitter.
To me, long as we have the Sunday creams, I don't care what the rest of them are.
Apparently, these are replacing them.
Oh God!
No.
Allegedly, supposedly.
No. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. No. No.
Okay. So if we win, okay, I'm fine. But
if we win consistently,
yeah,
that's the only way.
The Sunday creams were like next level.
I love the cream, but it's cream. Like y'all are so in. I just want a different font on the cream. I don't like just the little A.
No, I like just the A, just the A.
Wait a second. Hold the phone to a second.
I don't have my hat up here.
What?
So you don't like the stenciled A or whatever?
What? Yeah, well,
he's not wrong.
You're not. Look,
it's
bad for my health when I talk to myself. So I know the feeling there, Frank. I know.
You're in good company, Frank.
Yeah. Whoa! Wait a minute. What the hell?
I told you Ipsy would have my back, Zach, last week.
Oh, we kid because we care, Zachary.
What? No.
Let's work on the infield while he gets
infield
together.
Infield.
So we have Aloy.
Yes. He's going to play short, right?
That's where he was most of the time, I think.
Okay.
I'm really bad at positioning because they had people in and out everywhere. Stovall's out. I think Holt takes his position. Is what I'm thinking.
Yep.
You have Robinette, who had some really good hits.
Probably first base for Robinette because he's a big dude.
Him or McLaughlin because they have them both listed.
Okay.
And then you also have Jason Jones and Wagner. There's a couple other guys that were listed, but
is Jones a third baseman?
Third or short?
Because we were going to have Peyton Holt was going to be playing third until Stovall got hurt again. So you got to figure with the experience Holt had at second last year, they're going to move him back over to second. I'm thinking probably Jason Jones at third.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But with Holt or with Stovall being out and Holt having probably to move, we'll see. Which people can chime in because I've seen 10 different lineups and I'm really bad at infield positioning. I know outfield, Diggs is in right. That's all I know. Wait, right field. Because he's furthest away from the hog.
Yes.
He's going to be furthest away from the hog pin because, Then I don't even know who else you have out in the outfield. Like you could put some others out there. They had Grimes listed who played left field last year. This is true. What Frank's saying is true. You have Grimes who will play left field. Then they have Edmondson, Millsmeyer, Lovich, and Smith, which I don't really know any of those guys.
Yeah, I don't recognize those names at all.
Yeah, they didn't have any good hits, so I don't really know outfield as well. I just know Diggs, and then I've seen Grimes out there. I don't see Grimes as being a good hitter, so I'm not.
Could you see any of those guys being
outfield? I highly doubt that.
Couple years ago, we had a guy that started in the outfield every game because of his ability to get on base, not necessarily by hitting the ball. Zach Gregory.
Yeah.
He was a guy, he could get his on base percentage was to the moon, but he batted like 189 because he either got hit by a pitch or he walked. So I don't know, maybe if Grimes or one of those guys could be in that kind of role to where they just get on base.
I haven't seen much from Jason. He had one good hit in the scrimmage. I was there. It got caught, but it was good. DH is McLaughlin, if any, without a doubt. That's who I have, but I don't know. That depends on where you put Big Country, a.k.a. Robinette. But it's going to be McLaughlin for sure. Is my guess. which I've even heard of. Depending on who's playing catcher that game, you could have Roland or Polk play DH, but I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. I see DVH either playing them at catcher or not at all. But
yeah. So okay.
Then for pitchers, there's a long list.
There's one in particular that I want to talk about, and I'll let you do it. But a lot of hype around Molina coming in, the transfer from Texas Tech, the big lefty.
Yes, huge hype, and I only got to see him for it was like 3 or 4 pitches. It wasn't a lot, but he was good. I'm not a pitching coach and not a pitching nerd, so I'm not the best, but he was striking people out, so it looked good. The same with Faraday. He looked good. He was striking people out. Hunter Dietz, I thought, was one that hasn't been talked about enough, and I thought he was pretty good. He's a transfer in. Who they all arguing about what? Oh, who's on first? I say Robinette, but TBD.
What's on second?
I don't know who's on third.
Yeah,
we're over Sarah's head with that one.
No, but I'm saying that's all I know. What, who, and where? Like
she is like that.
It did not. You're talking about what's on second, TBD on first.
No, we're
She's
talking
not
about,
getting any of this.
No, you're not getting it. You're not getting it.
What's on second?
I don't know who's on third.
And TBD's on first.
She's not getting any of
Chris
this.
has got it. Chris has got it right here with the comment. Old jokes are old.
No, you're talking about the person named what is on second. The person named I don't know is on third. I'm not stupid.
Yeah, the old Abbott and Costello. You know who Abbott and Costello are?
I'm not stupid.
We never said you were stupid. We would never call you stupid on Women in Sports Day. Maybe some other days, but not today.
Daddy had Taco Bell for dinner, actually. He was in front of Anna and mine.
That's a little scary that you know that.
Oh, okay. Chris Ferracci says, "What's up, Chris?" By the way, he says, "Bedtime, papas."
It's about that time, yeah.
James Harris says, "Good evening, team. It is baseball time. Let's go, Hogs."
Yes, sir.
So, I mean, give us your overall grade going into the season for this team right now, Sarah.
Do you want my Kool-Aid answer or my average everyday?
Well, we know what your Kool-Aid answer is going to be. World Series, here we come, baby.
Not World Series. I'm talking about we've already won it. I'm stripping down Dixon. Like,
whoa.
We'll put the TVM rating on that version.
But honestly, I think I'm going to give them an 8.5.
Okay. All right.
My multiple things are that last year I saw a lot of good hits in the scrimmages and it didn't translate over to gameplay. Mm-hmm. 2, injuries.
I mean, that's it. You got to keep everybody healthy. You got to keep people healthy.
We do have 2 back pitchers in Frank and Carter.
Mm-hmm.
You still have 1 out, but he's a freshman, hasn't played, so that's fine. 3. No comment. 3, I think the whole SEC is loaded.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say. I haven't sat down and watched LSU scrimmage or watched Ole Miss scrimmage.
For Florida.
So I think it'll just depend on what happens.
You know, baseball is the sport that has 18 different top 25 polls.
Yep. And I don't know which one.
The one consistent thing I've seen among all the polls that I've looked at, half of the top 10 is all in the SEC.
Arkansas comes in the top 5 in all of them. I think the lowest they had, Arkansas, was 4th.
And LSU and Florida are right there.
Tenor.
Tenor. But
Tennessee.
So here's my hot take for
which I don't know if y'all heard from the Swatters Club video.
Wait, we had to take a screenshot of that because the look on Sarah's
Tennessee, which we get to play Tennessee and Texas at home next year.
Yes,
Is
2025
what I got
schedule.
from the Swatters Club.
Yep. Yep, I saw that. Dave had a comment about the 2025 home schedule. So there's I think he said there out of 5 home series, there would be a couple of teams coming in that wear T's on their hats. So
I got to show y'all my new hat.
So I mean, okay, so let's talk about this for a second, Zach, while she's getting her hat. The whole horns down thing. That poor left fielder for Texas doesn't know what he's walking into. Okay, that's some swag right there. I like the hat. I like that.
All right.
I designed it myself.
Really?
Okay.
Frank
wants to know where the shiny Hawg hat's at.
Frank, shut up. You know where it's at. You're supposed to get it for me.
So the horns down thing, I mean, we can make a whole episode on that.
Yeah.
But you cannot tell me, and I know we're getting close to the end here, folks, but you cannot tell me that the SEC is going to make this a thing where
they're not.
You can't.
Oh, so then we can't throw up the A's. We can't flip the bird
okay.
in the hog pen,
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. The whole throwing the A thing is the dumbest thing I have ever seen.
Or it's better than.
Okay, it's better than that, but
yeah, I don't like the booger cam.
I mean, anything is better than the booger cam, but I just the whole throwing of the A thing, but damn thing, gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Period. You cannot stop it. You're not gonna stop it. I'm all for it. I will do it.
You can't stop. They cannot stop me from doing this, so they can't stop me from doing this.
Exactly. Yeah.
This means I love you.
Yeah. And if they try to stop you from doing that,
then, I love you too. It just
there's another hand gesture I've got for them. If they say, "Oh, you
That's
can't
what I
do
said,
that,"
flip the bird, which you can't apparently can't do in the hog pen, but
well, apparently you can't sit down or stand up in a hog pen either, from what I've been told.
You also can't cuss, but
well, there's a lot of things you can't do, but I mean, and that's the thing. Now that we're getting off in the weed here, dude,
that's what we're good at.
You're taking the fun out of being in the hog pen.
Oh, they ain't taking the fun out of it. They can pull me out by my hair, which is saying a lot because I don't let nobody touch my hair. But you can pull me out by my hair, and I'm still going to be throwing the horns down.
So Dylan has a good question here. If I can wear a shirt that says Tuck Fexus, I can do the horns down.
My shirt has the horns down on it.
So, I mean, if you remember the football game, Zach, you were at the football game a couple years ago. How many times did this flash across the scoreboard? I mean,
every
every tackle for a loss. I mean,
I have so many questions.
Are we really going to relive this again?
I have so many questions.
About what?
This.
Okay. Do we really have time for this?
No, we don't. We'll talk about it after the show. Anyway.
No, he brought it up, so I'm going to go give you the short version. I bought a pair of Hokas for the very first time. All right.
Smart.
I bought them at the airbase. Best decision I ever bought was buying Hokas. They didn't have the shoe that I wanted. They didn't have the color that I wanted. So I had to get orange and blue ones.
Hey, they're pretty though. That's okay.
They were.
You just can't wear them. You just can't wear them on Florida weekend.
And I did wear them at Auburn weekend. No, I take that back. I wore them because it was the game that Loki and Dylan and I went to.
Auburn?
Was that Auburn? No, I don't think it was Auburn. I went to Auburn with Katie.
Start saying you can't wear orange and blue to Auburn.
It was Kent State. That's what it was. It was Kent State.
Well, that's acceptable. You can get by.
Okay, because I was standing in the tent with some old friends of ours.
You could have said it.
and a comment was made about my shoes.
Oh, I know exactly who probably said it too.
And so I went up to the Hog Heaven and I bought Razorback shoes for $130.
You really let people see? You're the people that are getting bullied for not having Stanley at school right now. Don't let them bully you into buying shoes.
No, I was going to buy some.
And I know those things hurt your feet. I know they hurt your feet. I know you have blisters.
Did just fine in them. They're my favorite pair of game day shoes.
Hokas are better.
Hokas are much better. Hokas are much better than Nikes. Hokas are like way above everything else.
But
that's the story. That's the story. I have many other of those. But final thoughts before we get out of here tonight. I know we're wrapping up, so final thoughts before we get out of here tonight.
My final thought is, she mentioned it was Women in Sports Day. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, outside of that, this is also an international holiday known as the 50th anniversary of the cinematic classic of Blazing Saddles.
Did you go see it?
It is also the 60th.
I did not see it in the theaters. I am not old enough to have been at the premiere, young lady.
But wait, you were telling me in pre-show about the 60th anniversary of the Beatles at Ed Sullivan.
Yeah, and you remember what I said about the Beatles too. So
what did you say about the Beatles?
We're just gonna pour gas on the fire and walk away like an action movie here. Beatles' most overrated band in rock and roll history.
Sarah, what about you? Final thought before we wrap up tonight.
Well, I just think, we have a men's game coming up. And I think we should put our women's team out there because at least they try.
They're at least giving effort and playing hard. So
I think we should put our women out there because they're doing good.
Is Neighbors saving his job?
We have to make the tournament still.
Okay.
They're doing good. I didn't say they were doing great, but he does have a solid team if they can stay healthy because they just had one out with a broken nose surgery. Talia Scott's just barely getting back from an injury of some sort. I talked to Sailor and she's struggling with some injuries too, so they need to stay healthy.
It's that time of year. A lot of nicks and bruises and bangs are just starting to add up.
Sailor's has been bothering her all year, and I don't think she's going to stop playing is the problem. But we also have gymnastics. So honestly, everybody's sad about basketball, but I just kind of forgot it was happening. 9 days till baseball.
Chris says, Jesus, he just got rid of all the 60-plussers.
I mean, I'm not that far from 60. I'm 46, so,
You're closer to 60 than I am to 40.
Oh, God.
This is true. I'll go a step further. I've probably got more years behind me than I do in front of me.
All right, now that this is
I
taking
say
a
that to
morbid,
my mom all the time.
now that this is taking a morbid turn, let's get the hell out of here.
Gymnastics
Oh my
on
God.
Friday, Jesse says.
Yes.
ESPN.
ESPN.
Women, I think the women play on Sunday. I don't think they play tomorrow.
It has
play
been
Sunday.
a wild show. It has definitely been a wild.
Zach may fire
wild
me for this
show.
one.
Nah.
Wait, fire you
can't-
for what?
He can't fire you on Women in Sports Day.
I can.
On
I'm
air.
just choosing not to.
One area.
Yeah, right. Oh, and with that, we wrap it up. Oh, man. For Marcus MC Carlton, for Sarah Swishvogel, I'm Razorback Zach. You have been watching an all-new episode of Inside the Hog Pen on the Sideline Radio Network. Until next time.
Yeah!
So long, everybody.